What do they say? They now say omega n is equal to what? 2 pi f. Therefore, and then they now find this. Naturally, what you find first? Natural things, isn't it? Listen even to the name, natural frequency. So find it first. This is a natural frequency. Naturally, I mean, is the first point. Ne? This is the easiest thing to find. This is where you start. This is the basis for finding this other. So what it tells me is people don't know they cram. Because if you know, you wouldn't take some specified steps in that order unless that's how you crammed it. Don't cram, know these things. This is the first thing for you to find because naturally it comes first. Even the name says so, natural frequency. Eh? Natural frequency. It means find that one first. Right. Let's now find the relationship. Now we've found the natural frequency. Now let's find the relationship between the natural frequency and the other stuff. We wrote an expression here. Now we want to find the frequency and the period. But at the moment we found the natural frequency, and this is in rad per second. So you want to find the frequency. And this is the expression that we are going to use. If this thing goes round one complete circle, what angle have we moved? 2 pi. We don't use 360 where you are doing actual calculation in terms of multiplying things, dividing things. You don't use degrees. You use radians. Ne? Always. But in a comparative, for comparison, we can also use degrees. If you take your angle in degrees, wherever there is a real calculation, real multiplication, it's wrong. Things like T1 over T2, we still remember that. E mu theta, I remember that when we were doing. If this angle here, because it's a real multiplication and division of things, you always use radians. Are we together? So, it's 2 pi, and this is equal to, now, omega we have, and it's the natural frequency. We show that it's the omega n. Omega n. Now, what if something goes round, what's the definition of the time that it has taken to go round once? What is that time? Period, ne? Therefore, we can now find Tp as 2 pi over omega n. Are we together? And knowing that one cycle is complete in what? In Tp. Then the frequency, which is the rate of completing cycles, simply becomes the inverse of this, ne? F is equal to 1 over Tp, which is omega n over 2 pi. So as you can see, the other two quantities are actually derived from this one. So it doesn't make sense when you are finding this, to first find those things and then come back here again. Because this is the basic thing which you use to derive the other two. Okay? So this is what you must know. Even more.